From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman, but with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Good evening, everyone. Well, if you're just checking in for the first time since this weekend, take a look at the rainfall totals over the last 3 days. Now, some of it verified over the estimates here throughout last week, but really the main things I want to point out is that I typically talk about these storms and how we see kind of the northwest parts of the state, and we are also expecting some orographic lift east of the valley as well. So you can see some of the heavier rainfall east of the valley with those yellows and oranges, and also along that coastal range, even into parts of the Trinity Alps and Marble Mountains, with some of the yellows and oranges there as well. Now we did see, look at that, over 4 inches out towards Shingletown, a little bit more than anticipated for the valley, although I did also mention Thursday and Friday that the north end of the valley may get hit by some heavier showers here as those thunderstorms develop. And we saw those lines develop here for the valley both Saturday and even Sunday. So it just depends on where you are, but overall it was a wet weekend, and that also is bringing everyone in Northern California above normal rainfall for the season. Now, of course, it started on October 1st. That's the rain season when it starts for California. And you can see over 100%. Look at Red Bluff, over 300% of average. All right, so again, rainfall, it was wet, but things have dried out. We're going to keep it warmer and drier this week. Breezy north winds, by the way, you notice it today, especially in the valley. You'll notice it again over the next few days. Now, the warming trend looks to peak around Wednesday, but dry and mild pretty much for this week, for your Halloween and even your Halloween weekend. Here's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Monday, October 27th. For tonight, it's going to be cold. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for most of us in the valley, 20s and 30s for the mountains north and east of the valley, 30s and 40s for Trinity County inland, and looks like in the low 40s for the coast. Out the door tomorrow morning, you're going to need that light jacket for the valley. You're going to need a heavier jacket for the higher elevations. And by the way, there will be some of that frost out there. So Trinity County, I think you've got a pretty big threat for that. Be sure that tonight, for tomorrow morning, but tonight that you do protect any of the sensitive crops or vegetation out there, as it could be damaged from some of the frost. Now, we do have a high pressure that's building in, and that's the reason why we're going to be looking at mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures, but also a bit on the breezy side. Again, you notice it today. I think we're going to be looking at those breezy north winds once again for your Tuesday. Nothing major. You're talking upwards of around 20, 25 miles per hour at times, but it's not going to be windy all day long. We take a look at the temperatures, though, for your Tuesday, mid to upper 70s for your daytime highs, 60s and 70s for the mountains, and low to mid 60s out along the coast. All right, we take a look at that 7-day forecast for the valley. There's that peak on Wednesday, but generally in the mid to upper 70s for the next 7 days. For the coast, I do have a slight chance for showers that are on Saturday. We'll talk about that a little bit more detail on a system that could clip the north coast, but overall dry and mild conditions. For Siskiyou, Modoc County, the eastern mountains, mainly in the mid to upper 60s. One of the warmer spots will be Susanville over the weekend with highs in the low 70s. Very nice. All right, that's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Let's go into that deeper dive forecast. And, we've got things going on this week. You may be working. You want to know what's going on. You may have a Halloween party, or you're going to go trick-or-treating with the kiddos. Is it going to rain on you? How cold is it going to be? Well, let's get you into it. First of all, you've got the ridge of high pressure right here. That's what's building in. See the arc in the clouds? That ridge is building in. It's going to be pushing that energy to our north. Now, we will still see some of the clouds out of that, but this storm system, you can clearly see it just kind of pushes up to the north here. Now, this may just clip the north coast Wednesday. Places like Crescent City, Del Norte County in general may see a passing sprinkle on Wednesday, but I wouldn't anticipate much, if anything. Then we're dry, continue to stay dry for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But look at the storm system that's approaching from the west. Still a long ways out. As of right now, it looks like this too will clip the north coast, giving places like Del Norte, Humboldt counties, maybe a chance for showers, but I think everyone else should remain dry on Saturday. All right, so again, let's take a look at the winds. So as we go into tonight, still a little breezy. By midday tomorrow, it's mainly the west side of the valley. As you can see, some stronger winds there, but upwards around 20 miles per hour or so. They subside a little bit here. I think a little bit stronger for your Wednesday. Could see 20 to even 25 miles per hour, generally from the north. You'll notice the mountains not as bad. And then the wind should subside. It shouldn't be as bad by the time we go into your Thursday. Warmer than normal conditions here are expected. So yeah, after a cool weekend, we're warming things back up here. And there's kind of the longer range here. Here's the ridge of high pressure. A couple of systems riding over that ridge, preventing it from building in too strong, but we keep it dry. We keep it mild here for this week. But as I mentioned, maybe that clipping system for the North Coast on Saturday. So there's a look at your 10-day trend. The normal high for Reading, by the way, is 74. We'll be above that this week, this weekend, even into early next week. Some signs of maybe some change. Cooler temperatures, maybe even some wet weather by the middle of next week. That's a long way out, but certainly some hope. Rain would be nice, right? All right, so we take a look at the wave heights. They are dropping here for your Tuesday, but we may see another increase come Wednesday with that approaching cold front. So here is your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We start with Trinity County, where we've got temperatures in the low to mid 70s, and we keep it pretty much in the mid 70s for the next 7 days. Not much change. Your Dignity Health North Coast neighborhood forecast, those temperatures are going to be in the low 60s. There's that chance for showers, by the way, on Saturday. So again, it's not going to be a big deal, but we could see maybe that clipping system. That could also impact, I'd say, northern Humboldt County on Saturday. So places like Garberville, southern Humboldt County, most likely dry even on Saturday, but you can see those temperatures not changing much. Your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, temperatures mid 60s, Happy Camp though around 77, but generally staying for Mount Shasta in the upper 60s. Beautiful, beautiful fall weather here. Temperatures for Modoc County should be in the low 60s, although places like Fort Bidwell about 54, 52 out in Cedarville for your Tuesday, and Tule Lake about 63. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 50s, 60s, even around 71 for Quincy, 70 in Paradise. Shingletown about 67. And we take a look at that, your Dignity Health Valley neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the mid 70s, give or take, pretty much anywhere you go. We take a look at that 7-day forecast for Chico. Looks like for your Halloween, about 77 for your high. Now, the overnight lows, you can see, should be somewhere in the low to mid 50s. So, you know, come trick or treat time, you're talking temperatures probably in the 60s. So a little chilly, but not too bad. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast to the north, about 78 for Reading, 77 out towards Cottonwood, and 75 for Red Bluff. Here's your 7-day forecast for Reading. The temperatures peak on Wednesday, a slight dip, but generally mid to upper 70s for Thursday through the weekend. And by the way, on Sunday, yeah, we fall back. We set those clocks back an hour. Daylight saving time ends. And you need to set those clocks back 1 hour on Sunday. Just beautiful weather for the next 7 days. As mentioned, a bit cooler as we get into the middle of next week and maybe some showers. But until then, should remain dry for the most part. That's your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great night.